back a week ago or so, I posted a video that the Supreme Court of the U.S. has agreed to hear a case against the city of New York. This case involves a law that the city of New York has that says you can own a gun, you can be permitted to have a gun, but only in your house. It can never leave your house except to go to shoot in one of 7 ranges in the city. You can't take it anywhere else, and even when you do take it, it has to be disassembled and separate from ammo. You can't take it out of the state. You can't take it to any other place. So if you want to train somewhere else, you want to shoot somewhere else, you have to have a second gun there that you can go and get. And that's actually the argument that the city is making about this. Now, the good news is that the Supreme Court has actually taken the case. Remember, it takes 4 justices to agree to take a case. And this case is going to be heard in October of 2019. Now, I got all excited, and so did a lot of other people. But the court can rule in one of 3 ways, I believe. And one of them is it can rule narrowly. That says to the city of New York only, that's a stupid law, it's unconstitutional, make it go away. And now the city has to make that law go away. We are hoping that they're going to rule in such a way that we have a right, that one, that will rule on a constitutional basis, that we have a right under the Second Amendment, and that the Second Amendment is equal to all the others, and that we have a right to keep and bear arms. We have a right to have a firearm out in public. That's what we're waiting for. That's the ruling that we're waiting for from the Supreme Court, that we have a right to have our firearms out in public. Now, the anti-gun people are terrified that the Supreme Court will rule that way, because that will, for the most part, nullify every anti-gun law currently on the books everywhere. That would make every state a shall issue state if they're going to be issuing concealed carry permits. If they're not going to do that, it would make every state an open carry state without permit. It would be huge. A ruling like that, and I was explaining this last night to a gentleman, a ruling like that would have the social impact on America equal to the 1964 Civil Rights Act had with respect to racism and discrimination in this country. So think about that for a minute. That's how huge such a ruling would be. Now, having said that, and remember Brown versus Board of Education, you will segregate schools. Nobody just rolled over. And it took, in some states, it took the National Guard to help, 9 little black kids go to school. It took 10 years before the South got it and all of the Jim Crow laws went away. And now they're trying to bring back anti-voting laws, if you know what I'm saying. They're trying to bring back creative ways so that those people that they don't like can't vote. Fast forward, a ruling such as this will have a devastating impact on the anti-gun people, and they know it. And that's why you see a lot of these, this flurry, this maddening flurry of crazy anti-gun legislation that's coming out. So that's the second way that they could rule. The third situation that could happen is that the city of New York on their own would say, shit, and eliminate the law and come up with a new law. But if they eliminate the law that's going to the Supreme Court, it makes moot that case, in which case the Supreme Court won't hear it because the law doesn't exist anymore. You see? Now, I am absolutely certain that Mayor Cuomo and the governor of New York and all those guys are getting pounded by the anti-gun people to do that, to remove the law. Because if that law gets to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court rules in our favor, in the Second Amendment's favor, it's game over for most anti-gun stuff, and they're going to have to live with it. And pardon me if this is a little shaky. I'm actually trying out a new selfie stick that I bought, and I'm not selfie stick trained, I guess, because I can see this stuff moving all over. But to all of you out there, feel good that finally the Supreme Court's hearing this case, but don't get too confident that it'll necessarily go your way, especially in the case that was heard just this week, when Chief Justice Roberts sided with the liberal faction on the court to not hear the Louisiana abortion case, which one of the strictest of anti-abortion laws in the country. Now, I happen to support a woman's right to choose, and I'm glad that Chief Justice Roberts took that approach. He also took the approach, remember, he was the guy that said Obamacare was legal, and it pissed off all the right-wing people, and I happen to be a fan of Obamacare. So I'm a bit nervous that he might go, the country isn't ready for that kind of trauma, social trauma, right? He might say that. And then who knows what the arguments will be for and against the meaning of the Second Amendment to you and I. So now, whatever you're doing, go to Beer 30 or whatever. Think about this. Put your comments down below. This picture right here, if you can't see it, is called The Hood, and it's from a famous artist here in Boise, Idaho. I'll put the link to it down below, and they have t-shirts too, and I got one of those. So as always, thanks for watching. Carry on. Hope it didn't get you vertigo. Bye.